Welcome back to Inside Gaming Daily for Friday.
Friday, it's the weekend. We worked all week. It's time for a good old yes!
Whoa!
Yes!
It looks like the very nasty battle between Gearbox and its former lawyer appears to be over.
Man, this was a fun ride. So it's been a saga with accusations that included millions of dollars of improper payments and a USB stick with porn on it, but now it's over.
Magic. A
Yeah,
USB
well,
stick with magic.
Turns out it can be
Research on
both.
Squirting is a magical act. This week, a court threw the lawsuit out and said that evidence in the case exonerated CEO Randy Pitchford of the allegations. It also said all misunderstandings between both sides have been resolved.
It's interesting that the court can decide that. They're no longer mad at each other, and we've said it. It's like a parent separating their kids. Yeah.
Kiss. Oh, parent. Okay.
Now both of you squirt.
Oof. Good God. At the same time?
I made it weird, I'm sorry.
Oh, no, you did not make this weird, Brian.
Maybe a little weird.
Out of everything in this story, you're the last person to make anything weird.
Brian, what did the dismissal statement say?
So it said, upon review of all the evidence in the case, it was of the opinion of counsel that the evidence exonerated Randy Pitchford from the allegations against him. All misunderstandings between the parties have been corrected and apologies were exchanged. So yeah, everybody kissed and made up.
I find you exonerated, but I order you hereby to say you're sorry.
I sentence you to 2 weeks of chilling out and playing games together.
I'm sure we'd all like to believe that there's some foul play. Maybe Randy Pitchford paid off the judge. However, there is a confidentiality agreement in place, which shouldn't surprise anybody, which means we probably will never hear about this ever again.
Another interesting thing to note, the claims were dismissed with prejudice, which means that the parties can't refile those same claims in the future. We've all seen double indemnity.
Yeah, all of us. The courts are basically saying we found this whole thing to be without merit, so you cannot bring it up again. Not only are they claiming Pitchford was totally exonerated, but also saying that, like, this whole lawsuit was made up and you guys are trying to abuse the courts. So damn, this is definitely a big win for Pitchford and Gearbox. These ex-employee lawsuits are never pretty, and this was one for the record books, and we're about to get into it right now.
The whole thing kicked off late last year when Gearbox sued Wade Callender, who was the developer's lawyer from 2010 to 2018.
He was longtime friends with Randy Pitchford, but obviously that's over now, at least it was, so the judge ordered them to become best friends again.
Now they're gonna get a whole bag of Takis and a case of Mountain Dew and just see where the night takes them. Gearbox accused Callender of fraud and breach of fiduciary duty. According to the suit, Gearbox said he borrowed $300,000 from Gearbox for a home loan that he didn't repay.
And that's not the end of the corruption charges against Pitchford, is it, Brian?
No, it also claimed he misused a company credit card for personal expenses. Not to be outdone, Callender turned around and sued Gearbox, and that is when the tea truly was spilled.
Yes, go off, sis.
I hope I'm using that correctly.
No, you're slaying, King. We stand. I'm on Twitter a lot these days. Callender's suit called Pitchford a manipulative and morally bankrupt CEO who shamefully exploited his oldest friend.
The legal proceedings accused Pitchford of getting a secret $12 million bonus from its publisher that was allegedly an advance against profits from Borderlands games.
At the time, Callender and his lawyers argued that Pitchford struck a deal in 2016 to get a personal secretive executive bonus of $12 million to be paid directly to a Pitchford entity called Pitchford Entertainment Media Magic LLC.
And I
cannot believe that's real.
There's a little sidebar, and I'm gonna go into it because this.
Go off, King.
Yeah, I'm lit AF. That's a 2018 thing. Never mind. 100? No, also
Keep it 100?
Yeah. Oh, that's way old.
You're sending me, Lawrence.
That's back? One of the funny conspiracy theories was that Pitchford used that $12 million to build secret chambers in his magician house so that he would have places to watch his child porn without the police finding it. So, we're back to the actual accusations here. Callender argued that Pitchford was taking an advance on royalties that would have otherwise gone to the staff at Gearbox, which...
For their magic child porn house rooms.
Yes.
A lot of great benefits over at Gearbox.
Pull that candelabra, stand next to the...
I'm back!
It's a whole wall full of USB sticks. Which one tonight?
Their lawsuit called it, quote, tragic exploitation, where millions are being siphoned into Randy Pitchford's personal accounts instead of funding the development of Borderlands.
Yeah, it seemed at the time he was talking about Borderlands 3, which of course was released earlier this year and has been one of the biggest releases of 2019 so far.
But Brian, Callender's lawsuit didn't stop there, right?
No, it also claimed that Pitchford once left a USB drive in a restaurant that had underage porn on us, which who among us hasn't? You know what? I'm not going to finish that thought.
Maybe we should instead focus on medieval times being called a restaurant and not an experience, which is what it really is.
Dinner and tournament. If it were just dinner, it would be a restaurant, but it is instead a magical time portal to a land of whimsy and entertainment.
Remember when nobody took showers and everyone died at 28?
I just picture a 16-year-old dressed up like a knight picking up a USB drive going, what is this talisman?
Perhaps it is an ancient artifact.
Avast. No, that's more pirates.
Yeah, and while Pitchford and Gearbox aren't talking now, because why would they? He had plenty to say when Calendar's lawsuit was filed. And I love this. Another brief sidebar here. Pitchford owns the company. Gearbox is not owned and it's not publicly traded, so he can say whatever he wants.
It rules. Pitchford tweeted in January that he was shocked by what he called Calendar's lies, adding that he is simply trying to shake me down for money. And then he added, as a father. It's only downhill from here, folks. I find crimes against children to be especially repugnant. It is very painful that a former friend and colleague would lie to try to associate me with such vile behavior in his own greedy pursuit of money.
Now pick a card, any card.
He also tweeted that Gearbox would file a grievance with the State Bar of Texas against Calendar for what it called, quote, filing a lawsuit that includes accusations that he knows to be untrue. Again, dismissed with prejudice, so he was kind of right, at least as far as the courts were concerned.
However, despite his tweets, Pitchford has discussed his porn predilections in the past, and even keeping them on USB sticks and forgetting them in restaurants experiences. Unbelievable.
This is one of those things where like, wow, that's a really horrible story. Oh wait, it's like 98% true by his own admission. Great. So yeah, Ars Technica reported that on the December 22nd episode of the Pith Pod, Pitchford discussed his fondness of cam girls and said that he was, quote, a consumer of this content. He also said that he copied a specific video to this memory stick.
And he even copped to leaving a USB stick at a Medieval Times restaurant saying, some kid, an employee of Medieval Times, discovered this memory stick, took it home, and discovered secrets of my company and future games in development, and also discovered the pornography. It was barely legal porn. This girl's handle was only 18.
These wenches don't appear to be 18.
Oh, no, wait. It says only 18 here. We're good, everyone.
The kingdom is safe yet again. Pitchford said that the USB flash drive was returned to Gearbox in exchange for swag and video games. Because yeah, when you're 17 years old and working at a Medieval Times, it's not that hard to buy you off.
So while the lawsuit seemed to have some basis in truth, maybe the ex-lawyer got the facts a little twisted? Or maybe it was sour grapes from a former employee.
Both seem pretty likely. I just enjoy the like moral grandstanding. Like, I would never do this to a chick. 18, you say? As soon as my daughter turns 18, she belongs to the world. 17 and 364 days, she's pure and innocent, she's mine.
I'm a father, but I also found crimes against children morally repugnant when I wasn't a father. You don't need that phrase.
So either way, we'll probably never know the details because everyone's locked behind a confidentiality agreement now, which is kind of how it ought to be. Like, just put this thing to bed.
Yeah, what did the lawsuit mean for Borderlands 3, Brian?
The whole thing kind of threatened to cast a cloud over the game, but it didn't happen because, as we all know, Borderlands 3 has been selling like proverbial hotcakes.
Despite all the bad jokes and performance issues with Borderlands 3, it turns out people love just shooting a million types of guns with zombies and stuff. Technically no zombies in Borderlands 3, how dare you?
Sorry.
Media zombies, maybe.
Oh, sheeple?
Yes, sheeple.
Influencers.
Wake up. Hashtag wake up. It released last month and it has become the fastest selling game in 2K's history, selling more than 5 million copies its first 5 days.
There was more of a backlash about the PC version being locked to the Epic Game Store than it was about the CEO of the company maybe looking at child porn. This was the stuff that people would joke about on like 4chan threads, but it didn't actually puncture any awareness.
But if I can't play it on Steam, time for the pitchforks.
Damn right.
As a father, I will only buy on Steam.
Yes,
and
I don't want
Epic Game Store morally repugnant.
Despite all of that, 2K said that sales on PC, quote, have been incredibly strong.
And that's one lawsuit down. Pack it up, go home. We're done here. But wait, Pitchford and Gearbox are not out of the woods yet.
Yeah, it turns out they got more legal drama just around the bend. They're one of the parties listed in suit by Bobby Prince, who composed the music for Doom, Doom 2, Wolfenstein 3D, and Duke Nukem 3D.
In his own lawsuit, Prince said that Gearbox's Duke Nukem 3D 20th Anniversary World Tour used his music without permission and without offering financial compensation. But hey, at least he's not talking about porn on USB drives.
Anyway, as far as Calendar, he's now working for the NRA.
Cool!
Yeah, replacing their former general counsel, so he seems like a cool dude.
They're fighting for Borderlands 3 in real life.
You gotta give guns to the children so they can shoot away all those sexual predators that might get to them. As a father,
Called freedom.
I want every 4-year-old to have a loaded pistol in their hands.
No more safeties.
So that's pretty funny because the NRA has gone out of their way to blame video games in the past for mass shootings, not for the proliferation of guns or trying to make them easier to get by people who have mental disorders.
One of Calendar's attorneys called him a rock-solid individual. Cool. A man of high morals. Great. Strong Christian values. My man. Conservative, politically, ex-military. He's exactly what the NRA needs. Well, can't argue with that. What a weird twist to end this story on.
Yes, it is.
I don't know. It's quite a journey to go from a porn USB stick at Medieval Times to ex-video game employee shilling for the NRA.
You really summed that up well, dude.
Thanks, Brian, for writing.
Yeah, no problem.
So I could do that.
Is it getting into amateur magic?
Boy, those are deep Randy cuts. Pedophilia. But no, I actually do think that there is a shield in the game that references, Lady Ejaculate, we'll just put it there. Let's hit with the good news first, because there is actually some good news. Early reports that the game is doing very well, even on the dreaded Epic Game Store.
You mean my review column on Steam